Hey guys, welcome to the first movie of the month for 2021 and for the month of January. And the movie we're going to talk about today is actually something I reviewed about 7 years ago. In fact, I even uploaded an upgraded 4K version of that review, which I'll link to in the description box as well as in the video here, so you guys can check that out. As well as I will also link where you can actually find the movie here on the YT if you choose to watch it. And the movie I'm talking about is none other than the 1988 teen sci-fi comedy Invisible Kid. And to me, this is one of the more underrated 1980s teen comedy films, sci-fi films out there. Now, true, it came out towards the end of the 1980s, and also true that it doesn't have the budget that the previous films that the Jay Underwood, who plays the main character here, starred in prior, which are the Not Human series and the Boy Who Could Fly movie. But still, I believe that even though it didn't have the budget or the effects that those movies had, I still consider it a very underrated 1980s teen romp comedy sci-fi classic, if you will. Now, the premise obviously is real simple. A teen, in this case Jay Underwood, discovers an invisibility formula, which actually was his father's secret formula, his late father, that is. And what he does is he tries to recreate it. And when he recreates it, he discovers that it's a formula for invisibility. And thus, after he tested on himself, he sees all the possibilities that come along with this, including some of the fun and the mischief he can get into. And then after pulling a prank on his friend by making it look like his burgers come alive and all that, he shares this knowledge with his friend. He shares the formula with his friend, and they both kind of have fun with it. They get into some mischiefy trouble, sneak into girls' locker rooms and all that. And then later on, you have Chynna Phillips of Wilson Phillips fame, who plays the love interest in The Girl Next Door. You have her actually take the formula, and she has, after she takes the formula herself and becomes completely in awe of what it did to her by turning her invisible, she of course has some mischiefy fun with it. And the first thing she does to have some mischiefy fun is do what many would consider is an infamous, very PG, family-friendly striptease because she's invisible. Basically what she does is she takes off her socks, and then she starts humming or singing the dut 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 tune, and she takes off her yellow blouse, dress if you will, then her underwear. But here's the thing, again, here's the catch: she's invisible, so it's a very PG, family-friendly striptease that she does because one, you can't see her, and overall, other characters go invisible as well, like the mother, who's played by Karen Black. She goes invisible. A police officer that the mother has some attraction to goes invisible. These are just temporary blimps, if you will, to kind of, not leave anybody out. And overall, the film, I think, is actually pretty good. Again, like I said, I think it's an underrated 1980s teen, comedy romp with a little bit of a sci-fi twist in there. But overall, I think it's pretty good. What I do like about the movie is they don't throw the invisibility, moments in your face constantly. They don't oversaturate it. What they do is they build up to certain moments. Like with Jay Underwood's character and his best friend, they build up to those moments. Where they get into mischiefy fun, where they, walk into the girls' shower room, or they walk onto stage and play a guitar during a concert or something like that. You build up to those moments. When you see Chynna Phillips' character appear on screen and you find out that she is the love interest, or she's the girl next door to Jay Underwood's character, basically like a best friend and potentially more, or potentially going to be more later in the film, you know that a moment's coming in the film where she's going to take the formula and go invisible and have some fun with it. And when that moment comes, it's definitely, in my opinion, honestly, worth the wait. But overall, they don't, like I said, oversaturate the invisibility moments and everything. They don't oversaturate, the scenes of people going invisible and getting in trouble, having mischief, playing pranks and all that. doing little strip teases and all that. They don't oversaturate is what I'm trying to say. And I know I use that word a lot, just real quickly there. But they don't oversaturate it, thankfully. They don't, basically shove it in your face. They take their time with it. And they build to those certain moments. Like I said, when Jay's character discovers or wants to recreate his father's formula, and just by knowing what the title of the movie is, you know exactly what's going to happen, and it builds to that moment. When he shares it with his friend, it builds a little bit to that moment as well. And throughout the film, it builds on the. And speaking of his friend, I should say, it builds upon the fact that his friend throughout the film becomes a little bit of addicted to the invisibility formula, kind of like a drug, because he constantly wants to turn invisible and sneak into a girl's shower room, sneak into a girl's bedroom, stuff like that. So you kind of build to the anticipation that someone's going to get hooked on this formula because of the potential they see with it, and have to be basically grinded to a halt, or at least settled down a little bit and given kind of like a talking to by their own friend of saying, hey, you can't be abusing this because you're going to get us in trouble, or you're going to get yourself in trouble, and it's trouble you may not get out of. So again, to me, they don't oversaturate. They build to those moments. They build to them in very unique ways. Like I said, with Chynna Phillips' character, you knew her being the love interest of Jay's character. They were going to build to that moment of her taking the formula and going invisible and having a little fun with it. And again, that moment was worth the wait, in my opinion. You knew the mother was going to turn invisible, even if briefly, and they built to that properly. You knew someone else would be turning invisible. Maybe the officer in this case would go that route, and they built to it. So, in my opinion, even though this may have not been on the same level, budget, effect-wise, and all that, to me, overall, with the pacing and everything they did, and the story as a whole, I think it's a very underrated 1988 or 1980s sci-fi teen classic. I think that's what it is. And I highly recommend anybody that hasn't seen it yet to see it and to check it out and see exactly what I'm talking about. Again, it's not on par with what Jay Underwood did prior in the Not Human series of movies, as well as The Boy Who Could Fly, budget-wise or effect-wise, but still it's worth something. It's still worth watching, I should say, just for the cheesiness that it brings, because it does bring a little bit of cheesiness to the forefront with some of the movie going in certain directions and having certain moments go this way or that way and stuff like that. So overall, to me, it is definitely worth watching, and I can't recommend it any more than I already have. So with that said, though, guys, that's going to do it for the first edition of Movie of the Month for 2021 and for the month of January. Sorry if I fumbled on my words, trying to do this as quickly as I can before my mom gets home, so I can try to do some upload and do some video content without interruption. But let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. Let me know if you've seen Invisible Kid and what your first initial thoughts were. And that's all I'm going to say. So again, thank you for watching this first edition of Movie of the Month for the year 2021 and for the month of January. Stay safe. God bless. Take care. And I'll talk to you all later.